Mike Schafer is here with me. He's with the Schafer Law Office, and he always comes in with a topic, and we talk about it, and it's a lot of information that you and I need to know. So let me tell you how we led into this question. So here we go, Mike. So we were talking, and I said to you, I said, okay, being an accident attorney, what's the most frustrating thing for you? And you could have picked anything, but you chose our topic today. So tell them again.
Well, for me, what is the most frustrating thing is when I have somebody that comes into my office that has been seriously injured, and I cannot get them to the point that they can be compensated for what's happened to them. And what I mean is, you're in a car wreck, and you've been to the emergency room, you have a permanent injury, and you're thinking, well, you know, I should be entitled to hundreds of thousands of dollars for this injury, which is correct, but the person that hit you doesn't have insurance or has the Kentucky minimum insurance. In Kentucky, you're legal with $25,000 of insurance, which doesn't take care of very much when you're going to the hospital, you're off work for 3, 4, 5 months. So the most frustrating thing for me is to tell somebody the person that hit you does not have sufficient coverage to pay for your injuries. And then we have to look to that individual, the injured person's insurance, to see what they have on underinsured motorist coverage. And a lot of people don't even know what that is and have the state minimums again, maybe only $25,000, and that needs to go way up to protect you and your family.
It sounds a little bit like a state issue, but so help me define, what is underinsured coverage exactly, Mike?
Well, underinsured coverage is insurance coverage that covers you if the person that hit you does not have sufficient insurance. So you can pick the limit on your underinsured coverage. You can have a $25,000 policy, a $50,000, $100,000, up to a $300,000 policy. And my advice is always to go with the $300,000 policy, because it's not really that much more. It's not, 20 times more, 12 times more than a $25,000 policy. It doesn't go up exponentially. You'd be surprised how little it costs you for that coverage that's going to protect you and your family.
Is that enough, or if not, what is enough?
I don't think enough. There is really not a number that is enough, but if you get to that point, you can get an umbrella policy through your insurance carrier, and that umbrella policy, you can get a rider for underinsured, uninsured motorist coverage that can protect you another $1 million, another $2 million. That gets closer to the point of being able to protect you, and taking care of your family is really the big thing. If you're hurt and you can't provide for them.
So Mike, if someone's watching and this is really good information, they're saying, oh, okay, I'm not sure if I have adequate coverage. How do they know? Do they look at their policies? What do you recommend? You've written books on this, so talk about that.
The best thing would be to be able to talk to your insurance agent, but so many insurance agents right now, from my perspective, are just, they want to give you the lowest rate, and that's not always the best. I mean, for another $20, every 6 months or every month, you can get a lot better coverage. If you call my office, 502-584-9511, we do an insurance evaluation for people. We'll send you the form. You can fill it out and email it back to us, and we'll give you recommendations on what we think you can do to increase your coverage.
I don't want to use scare tactics with folks, but I think it's interesting you said that's the most frustrating thing for you, because, as you said, there are people who have accidents, and they deserve more. They deserve a lot more, but if they can't get it, for you, you're in a weird position, because, like, I agree with you. I think everything here says you deserve this, and you're going, I can't get it for you. So I guess what I mean to say is, what can we do moving forward? Is this something that's a state, a federal thing that we have to work on? How does this work? How do they do it in other countries, Mike?
Well, the thing is, Kentucky is one of the better states. A lot of the other states only have a 10 or 15,000 minimum insurance limit to be, to be legal. So, that needs to go up, but I don't think it's going to, because of cost and the insurance regulations, insurance industry lobbyists, that sort of thing. But you need to take care of yourself. You need to take care of it at home and get that coverage to protect your family. I mean, and that was the whole idea of my book. I mean, what you don't know about buying car insurance can hurt you. That's the name of the book. And if you don't know this and you're in a wreck, you can be You can have a permanent injury, walk with a limp for the rest of your life, and have, no compensation to show for it, which is what our judicial system, and our negligence law is supposed to take care of. But it doesn't. You can't get blood out of the proverbial turnip, so to speak.
Yeah, it's scary. I don't want to be repetitive, but I do have to say. So what you're saying basically is, you can't depend on the other guy to have adequate insurance. So you get it for yourself in case something happens. And like you said, it's not that much more expensive. So why not do it? Your recommendation, and you're an expert. You've written books. Get it.
Yes, exactly. Call your insurance agent. Ask to increase your coverage. You'd be surprised. I don't get a percentage from your insurance agent or anything like that, but you need to ask them. You'll be surprised how little your premiums will increase for the amount of coverage you're going to be adding.
Mike, for those who would like to get a copy of your book, and Mike Schafer is a great resource, Schafer Law Office, by the way, if you ever are in an accident. But if they want to get a copy of your book, how can they do that? Because I think there's other questions about insurance that we all have.
Well, just go to my website, mikeschaferlaw.com. There is a resource tab. Go to that resource tab, click on whichever book you want, put your address in, we'll send you a free copy. If you don't want to go to the website, just give us a call and we'll get your name and address and we'll get that in the mail to you.
Yeah, and we talk about how knowledge is power. In this case, it may have a lot to do with your livelihood here and your health.
And I'm going to add one thing to that.
Yes, please do.
Knowledge acted upon is power.
There we go. Yeah,
if you don't act on it, it's not going to do you any good.
Good point. Good point. I'm going to remember that. I might steal that from you, Mike.
I'll give you permission.
Thank you, sir. Again, the Schafer Law Office. He is Mike Schafer. And again, if you have a question, if you'd like a copy of his book, there's the information on your screen, the number to call. All right, we'll take a little break.